I flipped a coin in my head. That's what I did. I think it's going to be a really good game.
And the 49ers, they're just clutching that way.
I think it's the Bengals game to lose.
Welcome to FN Studios. Here with Kody, Kevin, and Greg, this is the Dropout Sports.
Welcome one and all to the Dropout Sports Show. Here with yourself, me, Kevin, Kody up there, and Greg on the other side. You know, it's great to be here. Great talking some NFL with y'all. And I just want to get an update. Kody, how's it been?
Not too bad, Kev. I've been working a lot, just coming home, sleeping a lot, not doing much, but watching football and watching my team go far away. So it's been an exciting time to watch football for me.
Oh, you know what? School, busy as ever right now. Mustache as healthy as ever. Feeling good, looking good. I'm ready to get into it.
And ready we are. So, you know, the NFL, the postseason has been, the wild card, what I would say was underwhelming. The divisional round, exhilarating. I mean, my God, I don't think I've ever seen another week like that. And now we're on to the conference championships, you know. On the AFC side, we've got the Chiefs, Bengals. And on the NFC side, we've got the 49ers and the Rams. I mean, this is a great time to be a football fan. And we're going to talk about both those games. Which one of y'all want to start things off?
I think we know which one we want to start off with.
All right, Kody knows which one. Where are we going?
Cincinnati versus Kansas City, the rematch that everybody is talking about. Honestly, I know that I'm excited as a fan, but a lot of people are just excited in general as football fans to watch this game because Burrow is supposed to be the next big thing when it comes to young quarterbacks, and Mahomes has already been this big thing. And the story of the Bengals being terrible last year and now being great this year. And the Chiefs are this dynasty. So it's really interesting to see if Cincinnati can beat them once again. But there's a lot of other things that goes into it. But before I get into it, that's just how I feel about the game. I think it's easily the most exciting out of the two, even though it's being played at 3. But it could just be my fandom being taken over. But I honestly just want to know what you guys, an unbiased opinion, at least more unbiased than I am, feel about the game.
Here's how I feel about this game. Patrick Mahomes has been in the Super Bowl too many goddamn times already. Only 2 times, I get it. But you know who hasn't been in the Super Bowl since 1989? The Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know about you guys. I like the underdogs. I don't know if was it PFF. Someone is giving the Chiefs a 47% chance to not only win this game but win the Super Bowl. 47% chance. The Bengals are at 7% according to that same system. 7%. You gotta root for the Bengals here. I feel like everyone has to be right now.
At the end of the day, I think almost everybody in the entire country is going to be rooting for the Bengals. Like, that's just a stated fact. Everyone loves an underdog. Everyone seems to be on the Jamar Chase, the Joe Burrow, the Zach Taylor train. But I think the Chiefs are there for a reason. They're slated at 69.6% chance to win this game for a reason. I know their defense hasn't been the best. And, you know, last week, I know they went up against the amazing Bills. They have flaws that Joe Burrow and company can overcome. But I think that the Chiefs are I just think they're that team. They are that team that can take it to the Super Bowl and win it all. They had flaws in the early part of the season. But you know what they did? They fixed those flaws. They were an air raid team to go deep down to Tyreek Hill all the time, but they adjusted. They played the short game, and now they're dangerous on all levels of the field. I'm going to be rooting for the Bengals. I'm going to be rooting for Kody's team. As I said, almost everybody is, but when I look at the Chiefs, I think I'm looking at this eventual Super Bowl champions. That's all I got to say.
Listen, guys, this is how I look at it is the Bengals and Chiefs, like I said, already played this year. Might I add, only 3 weeks ago. The Chiefs were at full health. The Bengals were at full health, and they were both playing for something at that point, so it wasn't a rest week for anybody. And Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow absolutely had the best game of their season. Jamar Chase had more receiving yards than Mahomes had passing yards, and I think that the Kansas City defense is being overlooked as such a problem right now. The Bills lit them up the Bengals already have lit them up, and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase just had them figured out. Now, I'm saying also that doesn't really matter for this game because it's a completely different scenario, and they've already played each other once. So I think that it works. People are underestimating the fact that the Bengals lit them up in that first game offensively. If the Bengals can figure out defensively what they did against the Titans, against the Chiefs, it's a completely different monster. Like, agreed, it's Ryan Tannehill versus Patrick Mahomes. But if they have something figured out for Kansas City and they can weather that crowd at Arrowhead, I think it's the Bengals game to lose. Honestly, like their strengths just fare better. Like the Bengals defense has been playing well in the playoffs, way better than the offense obviously has. So if the Bengals defense can get back to where they played against Kansas City and the defense stays where they are, I mean, I think it's the Bengals game.
I think I heard it might have been Kay Adams. I think that she said that in that game, the Chiefs made almost zero mistakes and Bengals still won. I don't think their offense was where it is now. Last two games, they scored 40 plus points, albeit the other one in overtime. But that was against a Bills team that had definitely a top 10 defense, you know?
Here's what I'm seeing. I'm looking at stats from a Chiefs-Bengals game. Here's what I'm seeing. It definitely was a great game. I think both offenses played very well, but I don't think it's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be an offensive shootout, but it's going to be fun.
Listen, I think I agree with you, but I think you are also forgetting that the Chiefs were up the whole game until the end. They were up 14-0. So I think that's why their rush pass sequence is different. The Bengals had a big comeback in the second half. So I think that's why they rushed more than they passed. But I think that team was full strength and the Bengals just had a good game plan. I agree that like I said, the things are different for an AFC championship, but the Bengals had an answer for some of their key players. And the Chiefs did not have an answer for any of our key players.
I don't know if I could say that. Joe Mixon was held to 46 yards. The only person that really they didn't have an answer for was Jamar Chase. And sure, he's a problem. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely a problem, and they need to get an answer for him. But it still was really only Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
But that stands out in a different way that now they're going to try to focus on Jamar a little too much, and they have a way better passing attack even to T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd.
Honestly, Kody, to your point, the Bengals took advantage of T. Higgins down the middle of the field their last game on multiple instances. And who's to say that they can't do that against the Chiefs? I guess mine is just on pure intuition and the stats that have been going up the past couple of weeks and how the Chiefs have been doing. But I think there's validation to your point that the Bengals can pull this out.
Absolutely. I think that the offense has to step up. I'm just basing it off of how they played against the Chiefs defense last time.
Yeah, here's one thing for me that for offensively for the Bengals, it's a good sign for me. I'm just looking at sacks on the year. Tennessee was fifth on sacks per game, 2.9 this year. Kansas City in the entire NFL was 29th, 1.8. Their front seven is not nearly as good as what the Titans are. Burrow will probably have a little bit more time in the pocket, and he's good when he gets time. I mean, he's good when Joe Burrow's just good, whatever. Anyone's going to be better with more time, though. I think he's going to have more time. He's not going to be hit as much. I'm going with the Bengals too. I flipped a coin in my head. That's what I did. I think it's going to be a really good game.
Like I said earlier, based on what everybody's saying, I'm going to go with the Chiefs just because they've been here. Andy Reid knows what to do. And I think they're a Super Bowl caliber team once they get that defense just strung up just a little bit more. But, now that we have those picks out the way, let's go straight into the NFC. Uncharted territory for us East Coast boys, as we say. Got Rams, 49ers. I'm going to get it off to Greg, actually.
I would have liked to see Aaron Rodgers here. I don't mind Tampa Bay Tom Brady, but I'm tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Like I said with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, in the AFC Championship, he's been there 4 times now. Matthew Stafford, I cannot root against this guy. He had so much going against him in Detroit, never got a great team around him, never got a good coach for him. Finally, he gets to LA and he gets a good team, he gets a good coach. Where is he? His first year that he gets all that stuff. He's in the NFC Championship now. I want to see him in the Super Bowl, see what he can do.
I can't say I disagree. But I disagree that you would have rather seen Aaron Rodgers here because the 49ers are just a lot more fun to watch, I think. in my opinion, because with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, it just felt like Rodgers to Devontae Adams, some things we've seen so much, and Rodgers was starting to get on my nerves, and I just couldn't take him anymore. And I'm kind of glad that he didn't make it. I'm kind of glad Brady didn't make it. So I actually think this is more of a breath of fresh air, like you said. And the 49ers are my team in this game for solely the reason that they have just been on fire. I mean, the Rams have as well, but I just feel like the 49ers have some kind of swagger, the same kind of swagger I may add as the Bengals give you this year, the way that they're playing, the way that their team chemistry is. And I just think that's the key to this year. That's the key to the Super Bowl. That's how I feel. But I will say that the Rams have impressed me. Matthew Stafford in the playoffs has impressed me, and as well as Odell Beckham Jr., something that I will have posted in a couple days.
I think that when you look at this from what everybody is saying, I think that the Rams are kind of the favorite here. But if you look, I'm gonna put like one piece of logic here that I think throws that all out the window. The Rams haven't been good in tight situations, i.e. closing out games. And the 49ers, they're just clutching that way. Last 2 or 3 games, I think they've won on game-winning drives, or at least held off their opponents. Their defense is dynamic. They hold teams to under 20 on the regular. I just think that when you look at a team that can keep games close and win them, I think it's a lot better going up against a team that fails regularly at holding leads. Also, 49ers beat the Rams last game of the season. I know we just talked about how that might not matter as much, but fun fact.
And I know their whole team's great. They got a great defense. They got a great offense around him. I'm just a quarterback-driven guy. Like, this is a quarterback-driven league. I get it. Jimmy G is fine. He's a good quarterback. And I know he's done it before. I know he did it before in 2020. He beat Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship. I still don't believe in him. I still don't. And I'm sorry. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't think he's the guy. He's earned himself another year or two now, but I don't think he's going to last. And I don't think he's going to win this game. Stafford is better than Jimmy G. Their offense is better. Aaron Donald on the defensive side of the ball is just going to absolutely be all over Jimmy G. He can't handle the pressure. I don't think it's going to be blowout or anything, but I think I do have the Rams. I have the Rams winning it.
I want to take back my pick because I did pick Bengals Rams earlier, our last episode. So I just want to say that I have a lot of respect for the 49ers, but I do think that the Rams are a better team.
No, I respect that. But if we're making our official picks here, sticking with the 49ers, I mean, come on. Y'all want that underdog, Greg. You're going to get that underdog. Also, if you're going to mention the Rams defense, don't forget Robert Quinn, Jalen Ramsey, guys that are going to be all over the field. There's probably more that we can mention, but we only got so much time.
Last week's divisional round games were insanely fun. Like every single one, it was like we were just getting absolutely bombarded with a game-winning field goal, and then the crazy Chiefs-Bills game. And I think that's just going to carry over, honestly. I think we'll get a shootout in one of the games, and the other one might be a defensive battle. So look out for a split there. That's what I'm feeling for this week. So, but my pick's Bengals, Rams.
I also got Bengals, Rams.
I think that's all we got. Kody, you want to take us out?
Absolutely. I mean, either we'll come into our next episode next week with tears in my eyes. Well, either way, if they win or lose, I'll have tears in my eyes. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, guys. I'm really excited for both games this weekend. We got other videos coming out from each other before our next Dropout Sports Together video. But yeah, it was fun talking with you guys. I'm ready for a lot of football. Thanks so much. Have a good one, guys.
Amen.
Just a bunch of dropouts.